What I want to show you today is the first trick in the 5 tricks that break writer's block.
Hey, middle school ELA teachers, I'm Kathy Hart. Welcome to the Teach to Write for Middle School channel, where you can get the tips and tricks to help your middle school writers to improve their writing skills and keep your sanity at the same time. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Please take a moment to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and like so you won't miss out on any of my future videos. In fact, they're going to be coming out every Monday. Asking questions may seem like a very basic learning skill, but that's why writers forget about it and just dive into writing a first draft. Then these writers have to go back and revise a lot. Believe me, it's happened to me more times than I can count. But it's a basic skill that's often overlooked and helps out so much. I filmed this video before I started my channel, so there are some key things I want you to know. First, to get the teacher's guide with the student worksheets, both digital and printable, click on the link below this video. Also, if you have any questions or a comment or a suggestion, please leave those in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. So let's get started.
So before we get started, I do want to talk about how these 5 tricks work the best. First of all, you want to start off with mini lessons and sharing. You want to demonstrate these tricks as often as possible. You want to show them your own struggle with writing. Now, I do practice mine a little bit before I actually show students, and sometimes if I think it's going to take a little bit too much time or I'm really tired, I will pre-videotape my writing tricks, whatever it is that I decide to use. So sometimes I will do that. And sometimes I will, and then that way I can edit it down to what the length that I need it. And then other times I just wing it and I show them what I'm doing because I want them to see me struggle a little bit. They need to see you struggle with getting your words down. They need to see you break through that struggle. And they need to see that no matter how experienced a writer you are, you always need these tricks. They come in handy every single time I write, even with emails sometimes. I will use some of these tricks to help me compose a really difficult email. Okay? Make it fun by having them do little friendly competitions. How many things can you list in 30 seconds? How many in a minute? What about mind mapping? How quickly can you do that? Practice a lot. That is key to this. Is students use these tricks as a way to access either their reading or their writing. And since I'm mostly a writing teacher, I talk about writing most of the time. You can still use this in English language arts and access a piece of reading this way. But I always start off with writing, even if I'm teaching a reading lesson. Begin with an end in mind. What is it that you want them to do with these writing tricks? Do you want them to collect them for a little while before they take one of them and develop it some? I'm going to be calling those journal gems. They're going to be collecting those in the first couple of weeks of school, probably 3 or 4 weeks as we get to know each other and things like that. We'll be doing some short pieces, learning how to describe, try to get a handle on capitalization, punctuation, those kinds of things, and also get a handle on how to save documents on the computer. So having something like this helps you to be able to do multiple things during a class period. So if you start off with this, you can go on to do other things and teach them other things within the class period. Confer with your writers often. This is so important, and it will save you tons of time because you can actually do assessments right there and then with them using a rubric of some kind. You can confer with your writers and you're not sitting there endlessly writing comments on things that they will never ever read. It's better to have that one-on-one conference with them during class time. Okay, so for writing trick number 1, you want to ask questions. So I'm going to be showing you a little bit of a video in between each one of these slides and kind of show you how I do this myself when I use this first writer's trick. So you'll want to give students a generic topic. And my generic topic is a place. a special place. Students will list anywhere between 3 to 5 specific topics. And as you can see in the video, I do list down 3 to 5 specific topics. Students will choose one of their topics. So that's what I did. Then after that, students list questions about this topic. And this is where you bring in that competition. You say, okay, now that you have your topic, how many questions can you list about your topic in a minute or 30 seconds, however long you want to give this? And tell them that they have to ask each of the different types of questions. You might even want to write it on the board or something like that, like what, where, when, why, how, those kinds of questions. So then you to ask them, how many questions can you list in 1 minute? So you have them write the questions first. You don't have them answer them yet. They just write the questions. So they're just thinking about what it is they need to know about their topic before they can even start writing. Then you can have them share their questions with a partner. And the thing about this is you're building a rapport within your classroom. You're getting kids to work together. They need that mental break. They also need that social break. They need that social emotional aspect to it. And they learn great from each other. So they might say, you know, you're asking too many questions about what you see, not necessarily what you hear or where or why that's important or how something is done. And they can ask that person those questions. How many questions can you answer in 2 minutes? So once you have them write them all down and they share, you bring them back together and you say, okay, how many questions can you answer of your own questions in 2 minutes? So you'll see in the video how I show myself answering those questions. I ran out of space in where it says, what did I do there? I made a little arrow and then now I'm putting in the details about what I actually did there. And this is where most of my specific details are. And I talk about baby food jars clinking together and things like that. Then you're going to have the students share their answers with a partner. Once again, we're building that camaraderie. Then you have students go based on your answers, go write a paragraph, one or more paragraphs. And that's when you would send them off to the computers, or if you want them to write in their journals. If you don't have a blended environment like I have, you have them focus on within their journal, not with their partners and stuff anymore. Now they're focused on writing. Maybe play some music for them or allow them to listen to music. Maybe turn down the lights. This is writing time. And that's when they get down to writing. So what are some lessons you could add this trick to? Go ahead and write in your teacher notes. There's a place for 10 different ideas. You can even make more copies of this, obviously. But how could you use the listing of questions and answering those questions in a writer's workshop, in a reader's workshop, whatever project you might be thinking of them doing, a maker project, or a presentation you might want them to have, a TED Talk. There's so many different ways that you can use asking questions. In fact, asking questions is at the basis of all of these tricks. You can't do the rest of the tricks without asking yourself questions, and you have to train kids to do that. So doing this once is not going to work. You're going to have to do this multiple times so that kids get used to asking themselves questions, that the questions come from themselves and their mind, not from just you. Hopefully, this lesson on how this one trick, it works the best and how you can use it in your classroom will help you have a very successful year.
What I wanted to offer you is the 5 tricks that break writer's block teacher's guide. It's free. You just click on the link below, www.teachtowrite.com/5tricks. And what you would get with that is a PDF teacher guide, and it also includes student worksheets you can use when you're introducing the tricks. They're kind of fun. They're magical themed, as you can see from the picture there. They're both in digital and printable. There's also a grading rubric so you can assess their progress. And it's free. Just click on the link in the description box below. Next Monday, I'll be taking a deeper dive into writer's trick number 2, listing ideas. So click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and watch for this video next Monday. See you soon.